Unrequited love is awful. Desperately longing for someone who doesn't feel the same way is a hopeless, demoralizing state. But there's something even worse. With unrequited love, you at least know how the other person feels. You just have to find the strength to move on. But what if the problem isn't that you've been rejected outright? It's that you're stuck in a complicated state of uncertainty. You're not sure exactly how they feel. Your love is not necessarily unrequited, but it's somehow constrained. In this video, I'll show you what constrained love is, why it's even more psychologically taxing than unrequited love, and what you can do to recover from it. Hi, my name is Tom Bellamy. I'm a neuroscientist and writer, and I blog all about limerence, an altered mental state of intense romantic infatuation, at livingwithlimerence.com. I'm also the author of the book Smitten, which explains what limerence is, how neuroscience can help us make sense of it, and how to recover from it. Okay, so what is constrained love? Well, it's a form of love that cannot move forwards. Uncertainty traps it in a limbo of unfulfilled possibilities. It's a situation where you've developed romantic feelings, but you can't be sure how the other person feels. So for one reason or another, you cannot freely express yourself or ask them how they feel or break through barriers that are in your way. Constrained love can come in several forms. Here are the commonest. The first scenario is concealed love. So this is love that is hidden deliberately. Perhaps you don't want to reveal yourself too soon, or perhaps you think the other person is out of your league or unattainable for some other reason. Perhaps you're just timid. Probably the most frequent scenario for concealed love is that you develop romantic feelings for a friend and you realize that your desire is going to mess with the friendship and you don't want to lose it. So you try and tough it out. You swallow down the burgeoning feelings and keep playing the role of friend, figuring that if you can keep it concealed for long enough, you'll somehow age it out. That very rarely works. Instead, by concealing your feelings, you trap them inside yourself where they then grow out of control. Okay, second is the related scenario of idealized love. In this scenario, the love-struck person tries to manage their hopeless longing by sublimating it into a spiritual form of love. They try to deny their more earthy, erotic desires and dedicate themselves to a chaste admiration for their beloved. They elevate them to a muse or paragon, affirming their specialness, but positioning them beyond the scope of a normal human relationship. So this is like the old ideal of courtly love, where devoted service to a lady was the knightly ideal. Now, usually this idealization is an attempt to both evade the pain of rejection and to maintain a psychological connection to the beloved, but in a socially acceptable way. Sometimes shame around erotic sexual desire can also be a factor. Okay, a third type of constrained love is frustrated love. So this is when hope is initially high, that it seems like there might be reciprocation, but then barriers or complications get in the way. Maybe you're living in different countries, or maybe they're not available to meet you very often, or maybe they want to keep dating other people. Maybe they act unpredictably, giving you mixed messages and running hot or cold, or not keeping appointments or commitments. So you're not getting rejected, but you keep getting false starts. You don't want to give up, but somehow there's never enough momentum to actually move the relationship forwards. You're stuck, half committed, frustrated, not sure what to do to break out of the rut. The fourth form of constrained love is forbidden love. This time there are social, cultural, or professional barriers in your way. External forces mean you are inhibited from expressing your feelings. So if you fall for somebody who is married or is your boss or your therapist, you'll not be able to openly express your feelings without causing conflict and harm. Forbidden love is where desire crashes into barriers of duty, obligation, or morality. Now, in the past, falling in love with someone of the same sex would have also fallen into this category, the love that dare not speak its name. And in some religious communities, this is still the case, of course. But whatever the barrier is, the most painful form of forbidden love is when there's clear evidence that the other person reciprocates your romantic desire. So the forbidden love is not hopeless, but it festers in guilt and fruitless longing. Okay, a fifth form of constrained love is unfulfilling love. This is when a love affair begins but never lives up to its promise. A common example would be where mismatched expectations about what love means and what it should feel like leads to disenchantment. Now, for people who feel the wild, ecstatic euphoria of limerence and overwhelming infatuation with the beloved, forming a bond with someone who isn't similarly intoxicated by love will inevitably feel disappointing. So limerents look for their adoration to be reflected back to them, but they see only warmth and affection, and they assume that they're not attractive enough, or that the relationship is failing, or that they need to try harder. But in fact, they're just hopelessly trying to spark limerence in someone who does not experience that altered mental state. Now, another cause of unfulfilling love is embarking on a sexual relationship that stalls out as a situationship. So rather than progressing to a deeper emotional commitment, the relationship stays as little more than recreational sex. For people seeking an intimate pair bond, this will inevitably feel inadequate. So unfulfilling love comes when high hopes meet disappointments and incompatibilities. When love feels possible but second-rate somehow, you end up trapped by the uncertainty of what to do. Try harder, reimagine love, or give up. Okay, so there are several forms that constrained love can take, but the reason that I'm claiming it's worse than unrequited love is because it's a lot harder to get over. Why? Constrained love is a dam holding back one of the most powerful emotional drives that humans experience. And that romantic energy doesn't just disappear by being constrained. It's far more likely to escalate out of control into a mental obsession, a behavioral addiction. So the reason for this is that constrained love has both hope and uncertainty built in. Falling in love with someone is very rewarding. It feels fantastic. And the promise of romantic bliss is exhilarating. And for at least half the population, it can be such a powerful natural high that it becomes addictive. So they experience limerence. And limerence is an altered mental state of intense infatuation that comes from co-activation of the brain's arousal, reward, and bonding systems, until one person is imprinted as the primary source of reward in life. You want them with an irresistible wanting. Now, if you develop limerence for someone who does not return your desire, so unrequited limerence, hope is dashed and uncertainty is gone. So unless you keep false hope alive by refusing to accept no for an answer, the limerence should fade as reality strikes. For constrained limerence, though, the situation is very different. The constraints can create hope and uncertainty and make it hard to take action. In that case, limerence doesn't fade away, it intensifies. The reward system of the brain gets driven into a state of addiction. Desire, wanting, gets more and more powerful as your subconscious urges you to try and get the prize that it so desperately wants. Your self-control is weakened as your willpower is repeatedly tested and fails. You end up accidentally training yourself into a state of addiction, intrusive thoughts, constant craving, chasing ever-diminishing highs. and losing track of what you even wanted when it comes to love and relationships. For unrequited love, there is some comfort in trying and failing. It's an honest defeat. But if you can't try, love sours. Constrained love has no healthy outlet. It ends up pickled in a state of unresolved promise and unfulfilled potential. Once desire for another person has escalated into an addiction, quality of life deteriorates. Psychological distress builds up. Something has to be done. But what? Well, there's only two ways out of the trap of constrained love: remove the constraints or choose to walk away. Either way, the key is to be decisive. You have to remove the uncertainty that is within your control. Now, if you're suffering from concealed love, idealized love, or frustrated love, you could choose radical honesty and just tell your beloved how you really feel. It takes bravery, of course, but being straightforward and open is an admirable way to find out for sure if they feel the same way. Now, they might try to evade the issue with platitudes or letting you down gently, but try and get a direct answer that tells you once and for all how they feel and what they want. Now, if in contrast you are suffering unfulfilling or forbidden love, you are more likely to finally get relief if you accept that your romantic fantasies aren't realistic or possibly even healthy, and so it's time to move on. Stewing in a state of romantic tension that can't be resolved is demeaning. The mindset shift needed is to decide you are breaking out of limbo. No more emotional constipation, no more drifting in uncertainty and unfulfilled potential. It's time to force the issue and find a purposeful path forwards. Decisive action is the only way to interrupt that reinforcing pattern of uncertainty that deepens addiction to another person and start the process of recovery. Now, if you are in this trap and you'd like to know more about how the brain gets driven into a state of person addiction and how to get out of it, check out this video next that goes through all the details.